Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and a bit of a weird one for you today because you guys know me. I'm all about the gas content lately, but I actually got sent something from the guys over at Perun Airsoft. So they've sent me a gun, and the gun has some MOSFET wizardry in, and this request came over email. What I'll do is, before I get into it, I'll just overlay when I unpackage this and show you what was sent to me. So you might be wondering why you're staring at a Cyma box here, and the main thing that sticks out is probably the electric part of this box. But I actually received an email from Perun, and Perun do MOSFETs, as I'm sure many of you are aware. I received this email saying, would you like to have a look at one of our MOSFET systems? You know, I'll never say no to stuff like that. And they said they'll organise getting a gun to me with the MOSFET in, with a battery and a charger, everything I need to do it, just see what I think and tell you guys my opinions about it on camera. So this happened a while ago now, and after that initial conversation, I'll be honest, because such an amount of time had passed, I'd just completely forgotten about it until this box turned up at my door, and I was so confused pulling this out because I was like, what on earth is a Cyma box being delivered? I have no recollection of this, and then I traced it back and it was all apparent. So anyway, in the box, this is of course a Cyma. This is if I can line it up here, a CM006A. It's about all of that. I'm kind of out of touch with the Cyma models, but we've got manual there, got this here, and the thing that really confused me about this parcel was it came from the US. Not only did it come from the US, it went straight through customs. There was nothing picked up about it at customs. I wasn't asked for my defense details. I wasn't asked for any import charges. It literally just went straight through to my door. This actually came from Northwest Airsoft. I don't know anything about Northwest Airsoft. I'd never heard about them until this obviously turned up at my door. I've got a little patch there. Pretty cool. You've of course got the sample pack of BBs that come with these guns, which, you know, don't use. I always tell people, and I have done for a long time, not to use these. What else we got in here? We've got a charger. So it's got a LiPo charger. If I can get all this out here, that's a US plug, so won't be using that. I do have a LiPo charger, so maybe we'll give this away to somebody that needs it. But a 2S and a 3S LiPo charger, just it comes with a US non-fused plug. You obviously got the packaging for the MOSFET, and the whole reason around this MOSFET being sent to me was about their clicker. So is it in here? Yeah, this thing, the Perun Clicker V2. There's actually some pieces stuck to the outside of the box there. I'm not sure what that's from, but that was the whole agreement. They wanted to send me a MOSFET with the clicker to basically give my opinions on it. So let's get this out of the way. Also in the box from Northwest Airsoft. I'm very sorry. Is it Norwest? Norwest. So not Northwest Airsoft, it's Norwest. Very easy to mistake there though, because it's spelt so similar. So they also sent me some BBs with it. These are some Elite Force 0.32 bios. Now I don't use bios, but nice to have and use it with it. Now they were meant to send a battery with this, which isn't the end of the world, but I'll just have to source something because I don't really do electric guns anymore. So let's get this out the packaging. There's nothing else in here. There's no battery. That's not a massive deal. I'm sure I can sort something out. So right, I've actually just noticed there on the stock, in fact the stock is completely loose, so we'll have to fix that. We can obviously test the the clicker on this thing. Very strange, especially doing this on an AEG. So that's everything I've got in the box. I'm gonna have to fix the stock. Did come with a high cap mag as well, and maybe we'll have to change out that orange flash hider because we don't require that over here in the UK. And then I need to source a battery for it. So by the time I'm back on the bench, this might be the next day, but you'll be able to we'll carry it on the bench and see what's what. So see, everything that I needed to get started there. Now, when they did email me and ask me if I'd be interested in having a look at it, I was like, sure. They did say they'd send a battery and a charger. I got the charger, but I didn't get a battery. So the only battery I have is one of the batteries that I was using for my MDRX. Because, as you guys know, I've thinned down on electric stuff. I have barely any electric stuff. I think I've got like one electric rifle left. So batteries and stuff like that is not something that I have massive amounts of anymore because I just don't need it. That being said, I found something, it's got the right connector on, we can take a look. So they basically asked me over email if I wanted to have a look at their MOSFET system and said they'd organise sending one of these rifles over to me. And I was like, sure. It did take a hell of a long time to get here, to the point where I'd completely forgotten about it. And this gun box turned up at my door. Luckily, there was no import charges or anything on it. And it said it come from America. And I was like really confused. I was like, who sent me a rifle from America? So I open it up and I'm like, yeah, that's the Perun. So it's a Cyma M4. It's got a Perun Mosfet in, and it has the clicker, the Clicker V2 Pro. So this is basically a way to try and make the, very mushy, non-existent, AEG triggers have a little break point. Now, like I say, it did come over from America. I have quickly chronoed it. It's doing 1.3 joules, so if I wanted to use it anywhere, I'd have to downgrade it. But we're going to take a look and see what's going on. So, I came with a high cap mag, which doesn't want to latch in at all. So that was the first thing I was thinking, oh, blooming hell, what's going on here? And what it looks like to me is it looks like the hop unit's slightly off. See how the hop unit's not centered, it's slightly tilted this way. So that would obviously play with accuracy. I have seen this on other rifles before, especially cheaper branded AEGs, where the outer barrels aren't machined quite correctly and it holds the hop unit at a slight off angle. So I can get in an EPM mag. It's a bit tight, but it goes in. And I imagine that's what's stopping the high cap mag going in all the way, because it kind of stops at the hop unit and just won't go in any further. So yeah, an electric rifle from them with a MOSFET in, Cyma. I haven't looked at any kind of Cyma AEG for a long time, and a lot of you that watch the channel are going to be like zoning out because you tune in for the gas stuff, which I fully appreciate that. But, when I say I'll take a look at something, I do. So it's kind of odd reviewing this because, really it was all about this, and it's kind of overshadowed by the gun. So the gun is irrelevant, really. What you'd be, interested in is obviously the MOSFET and the Clicker Pro. So we can take the stock off here. Like I say, the battery that I have for this thing is not ideal, but it's what I have. And we will take a quick look. I have noticed when plugging a battery in, it will beep, so you might be able to hear this. So a slight beep there. What I have noticed putting 11.1 in is, I don't know if it will happen now, but when you go to semi, it won't fire. It will now. So sometimes I just have to flick it to auto. I imagine that's over travel with the gears and stuff, just tripping it out. But the trigger is one of those things where I wish, way back when I was using a lot of AEGs, I had something like this to just make the trigger better. AEGs, I don't really have anything to hand here at the moment, but it's just a long pull, and eventually, you know, the trigger actuates either the contacts or the sensors on the MOSFET. So there's no real feedback there. Now with this, you're getting a very definite wall. So you got a little bit of pre-travel. You got a definite wall, and as you slip past it, the gun fires. Now, this would, and this is why I said, you know, this is more of an overview of the MOSFET than the gun. I imagine this is a base Cyma that the MOSFET's gone into. So it's not, and we're pushing like 1.3 joules. So it's not the most responsive. Now, the MOSFET means you can't trip the system out. But I just think having something like this in maybe a, you know, a more mid to high range AEG, something that's got a nice motor in it, you know, having it super responsive would be very beneficial. I'll be honest with you, when they first contacted me about the MOSFET, I thought, when they said we're going to send you a Cyma with a battery and charger, I thought I was going to get the Cyma and then get the MOSFET and on camera be installing it and showing you the process. Now, there's always a case of where we could pull this out and put it into something else, but it really doesn't matter. So the MOSFET seems very responsive. It's something that I'm a little bit out of touch on. It's a little bit more difficult for me to show you the difference now. I was a massive user of Gate Titan MOSFETs, and this seems just as good as one of those, apart from on the Gate Titans you still had the mushy trigger where you didn't have this brake. So the brake is really nice if you're an AEG user, because there are people that watch the channel, they watch it for the gas content, but they don't run gas blowbacks. They've got no interest in running gas blowbacks. They're just curious about what's going on. So if you are running an AEG and you want as close as you're going to get to a gas blowback trigger, you've even got a reset there, then this is probably what you want to go with. So a big thanks to Perun for sending this out. Let me know down in the comments below what you want to see me do with this thing. Maybe we'll take it on the range and see what it does. I imagine we're going to have some side hop because of the way the hop is slightly canted to one side. It might be difficult to see on camera, but if you look at the seam lines of the gearbox and the seam line of the hop unit, you can see how they're off. So that might play with our accuracy. This has been pinned on, so I'd have to drill it out to change the flash hider. But if you want to see me take this to 6mm and run it on the range, it's not really showing anything about the MOSFET, it's just showing something about the standard gun. So anything you guys want to see me testing with this MOSFET, be sure to put it down in the comments below. This is just a quick overview of what they sent me, and a little bit out the ordinary for my content, but I'm always willing to try new things. So what would be interesting, and I'm sure Perun could clarify this, is, and I'm sure you guys might be able to clarify this actually, with these V2 Clicker Pros, can you use such a thing with like a HPA M4 or what have you? You know, if you're putting an engine in your gun, can you use something like this to make the HPA a little bit, give you a bit more feedback on the trigger? You know, it might not sound much, but being able to predict where the wall and the brake is and being able to get on the trigger really quickly and not have that long smushy pull, in my opinion, is a great advantage. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Anything you want me to see me testing, down in the comments below. You can join the AEG Precision Discord group, so the link for that will be in the description. Very much thanks to Perun for sending this out to me. I'm going to have a play with it, and I'll come back to you on my thoughts on it. But for now, from me and Bench, we'll be seeing you in the next video.